Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new A24 thriller, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. And this is a dark comedy, a satire of upper class, rich youth, and all the craziness and baggage that their lives bring together when a group of young people, a bunch of rich 20-somethings, decide that they're going to have a hurricane party. And they're going to hang out in Pete Davidson's parents' giant mansion while a hurricane rages on, and they decide to play Bodies, 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 a.k.a. Among Us, a.k.a. Werewolves, a.k.a. Mafia, whatever you want to call it. And things get a little dicey when one of them winds up dead, and things start going in the wrong direction. And this is from director Helena Rajan, who has been mostly an actress and really directs the heck out of this film. And with a script from Sarah Delape, this is something else. This is something really special. And this got, like, I saw somebody say this is like a combination of like Spring Breakers and Clue, which I definitely got the Spring Breakers kind of vibe in terms of like the style and like the age group and stuff like that, but it kind of really is like a modern retelling, like a TikTok generation version of Clue. And this film is tight and sharp and impressively directed. The tension and suspense is fever pitch at times. They utilize the darkness of like the power going out during the storm in incredible ways. You have this big, giant mansion that has plenty of space to work with, and they maximize it. And where this film really goes is shocking, subversive, and something that really turns this slasher genre on its head. And it really captures some of the chaos of humanity and life in such a perfectly just brought together and weaved together screenplay that has a lot of great commentary and plenty of detail that really tie this whole film together. And this film is filled with a lot of great characters who all feel very unique and fleshed out in their own ways, and who struggle with perception of what life should be really like versus what they're used to. The themes that it deals with in terms of relationships and abandonment in relationships and friendships and toxicity, throwing around a lot of things like gaslighting and toxic relationships, and how some of the banter back and forth between these very specific rich young kids is quite impressive. There's one particular exchange between a couple of them later in the film that just blew me away in terms of the cattiness and the just the pettiness and the judgment that all comes out in the wash in this film. And the cast is superb. You have supporting turns from Lee Pace and Pete Davidson, and they do really great jobs. But at the core, it's these 5 young women. You have Amanda Stenberg, who's known for The Hate U Give, and they give such a great performance as Sophie, who's struggling with being out of rehab now and for years being an addict, and that caused a lot of toxicity in her relationships with these other young people who she's coming to this party with, and she brings her new girlfriend, B, played by Maria Bakalova, who killed it in the most recent Borat film, and does it again here. Her performance is much more low-key than the others. There's a lot of mystery behind what she's doing. You have Rachel Sennott, who was amazing in Shiva Baby, and her character, Alice, is one of the best characters in this film. She is kind of like the bumbling, kind of ditzy friend. She has a podcast, and she tries to explain her allyship and trying to reason a bunch of things that are very obviously an issue, and she really doesn't have a chance or anything to really say to make it better, but that's not going to stop her from trying. And this performance is so great because she is so believable. Chase Sweet Wonders, who is really great in things like Generation, On the Rocks, and Betty. She plays Emma, who there's a lot of emotion underneath, and she's gives a very emotive performance, a very engaging performance. And then Mihala Harold, who is the star of Industry on HBO, her turn as Jordan is really impressive because Jordan is like the most hard-nosed, resourceful one out of the group. She has a chip on her shoulder. The complexities of all of their relationships and their background and their backstories add so many layers to this film. This has plenty of style. It's well directed. The tension is off the charts. The acting is fantastic. These characters are great. And this will take you to a place that is very unexpected, and very few, like slasher kind of films can do that nowadays. This is a win for A24. This is a big achievement for our writer and our director. This is something that needs to be checked out. It's probably going to be underperforming a bit at the movie theaters, but hopefully word of mouth as this spreads and becomes more wide release. People go check this out because it really deserves it. But those are my thoughts on Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV and movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.